The current absolute state of Counter-Strike in 2022 is like an old mansion. It's beautiful, it's functional, it has history. But when you go inside and you look around, you realize that the whole thing is being held together by duct tape and could collapse at any moment. The people who built it are long dead. Patches upon patches upon patches. It looks more the Winchester House than the Biltmore estate. There are hallways scurving around everywhere. There's staircases that go to nowhere. It looks more a bowl of spaghetti than a steak dinner. Greetings, TheWarOwl greets you. Where is Source 2? Happy birthday, Counter-Strike. It's been 10 years. I've been making videos since the beta. It's a life well wasted. We're excited to say CSGO is just getting started. Could mean anything. Last time Valve didn't do something with Counter-Strike for 2 years, they were working on the Battle Royale game mode. So it literally actually could be anything. They could be working on a Counter-Strike dating sim for all we knew. So where the hell is Source 2? We know that they have been working on it and have been doing things with Source 2. It's kind of like an open secret at this point, I would say. And no, I did not leak Source 2, but I did get to witness fake news being generated in real time, which is kind of fun. Listen, we're parasocial friends. If I knew anything about Source 2 for realsies, I would not tell you. Counter-Strike is the best FPS game, objectively. This is not my opinion, it just is. It's a game where your character doesn't get better, you get better. It's a game that takes mechanical skill, game sense, and teamwork to succeed. It's a game that's easy to understand. You gotta shoot the other guy before he shoots you, but takes a lifetime to master. It's a game where the more skilled player, the more experienced player, the smarter player, the more creative player is the one who wins. The new player experience in 2022 is a complete mess, and it has been ever since the game went free to play. Trust factor, prime, all of those different things serve to protect us sweaty virgins from the predations of cheaters and toxic people and that sort of stuff. But it's difficult to get new blood into the game when the first thing that they experience is spin-botting rage hackers and fatherless teenagers screaming racial slurs at them. You would think that the game would be trending downward in player numbers, but it's not. Counter-Strike actually has a very healthy worldwide player base, and it hasn't really gone down. There was the COVID bump, it went up during the COVID times, and it never really went back down, which is very strange. There's a phenomena going on here. I wonder if esports is the thing that has gotten so many people into this game and has gotten new people into it. You have someone like Simple, who is like the esports guy. When I think of esports, I think Simple right now. He's like that Michael Jordan type mythical character. I bet he has gotten a lot of people outside of Counter-Strike into the game. When it comes to the matchmaking ranking system, I don't think that the smurfing problem is entirely intentional by the people doing it. Here's what I mean. Good players play on third-party systems. They don't play matchmaking. A ranking system only works when every game played is factored into that ranking system. For example, if I go play Face It for like 3 months and I rank up to level 10 and I get really good and I become a Counter-Strike master, my matchmaking rank has now decayed because of rank decay, and I'm gonna be like Gold Nova 3. So I go back to matchmaking, I'm a Face It level 10 player, I'm on a Gold Nova 3 account, I'm just gonna demolish kids, I'm just gonna destroy. And let's be honest, smurfing, people do it because it's fun. It is, you have to admit this. It's fun to go in there and just own noobs and just demolish them. But don't do it, because it's wrong, and it's not very nice. But what I'm saying is, maybe Valve already fixed this problem. The dumbest thing that Valve has ever done with its ranking system is not making the servers 128 tick and like quality servers. The second dumbest thing that they've done is rank decay. So the longer you don't play, the lower your rank gets. But Valve recently did a big update to the matchmaking system, and people's ranks were recalibrated. We had people jumping up by like 10 ranks. I'm thinking maybe what they did was remove rank decay and removed the effects of rank decay. And if they did that, that is a very smart decision. I've been doing a series on my Twitch stream every Thursday where we go through player-submitted demos from matchmaking and I try to guess what rank they are. It's been really fun. But because of that series, I have seen demos from every rank, from every region, across the entire spectrum, and I have seen the ranks from before the update and then after the update. So I have a really good idea about all of the things that changed, and I have to say, it really seems like the experience has gotten dramatically better. On the cheating front, this one's difficult to gauge. There was a huge VAC ban wave just recently. A lot of accounts got taken out. It wasn't VAC though, it was Overwatch, I think? I don't even understand it. It said it was game bans, not VAC bans, so whatever that means. This one's so tough to like keep track of and stuff. The only thing we have are like third-party tools to look at it, and from what I've seen, from what people have submitted, like the average player playing inside of matchmaking, they're gonna come across probably a little bit less than 1% of the players that they play against are cheaters who eventually get banned. If we compare that to other games, a lot of people don't know this because we exist in our own little elitist Counter-Strike bubble. We have less cheaters than Call of Duty. We have less cheaters than Rainbow Six Siege. We're gonna have less cheaters than Overwatch 2 when that one comes out. Get ready, that's gonna be fun. I know that sounds crazy, but I think that's the new maps that Valve just added, Anubis, Breach, Tuscan, are not new maps, but they're good, and I like them. So I'm happy. Now, I'm not just gonna sit here in judgment and point at things in Counter-Strike and say, that's bad, you need to change that, that's good, that's not. I'm gonna give my own ideas, my own constructive feedback. I think that's very important. Instead of just hating on stuff, it's important to be like, oh, let's actually make this good, let's make this whole thing work. The original idea for Global Offensive was as a console port for CS Source. Counter-Strike was conceived in sin. It was made by Hidden Path Entertainment, and it wasn't very good. Valve stepped in, they fixed it, they made it good. That was 10 years ago. I, for one, am ready for a change. Here's what I would do. Make a new game from the ground up on a firm foundation on the Source 2 engine, simply call it Counter-Strike, and make it the definitive Counter-Strike experience that's gonna be around 30 years from now. I think that's going to be the meta for game development going forward. You make one game, you don't do game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4. You just make one and you iterate on it and you build on it, and the way that you monetize that is through different means than just like buying the base game. For the matchmaking system, it should be designed to be the best way to play the game so you don't have a need for those third-party systems. A requirement for doing this is to have 128-tick good quality servers and an anti-cheat that actually works. I feel like I'm just writing my list to Santa right now, but it's better if we're all playing in the same place under the same rules. One big problem with Counter-Strike is that the only map anybody plays is Mirage. You play it like, what, 75% of the time and face it? It's really annoying. Part of being a good Counter-Strike player should be increasing your own personal map pool. It currently is not that way. Currently in matchmaking, you can just click whatever map you want to play. That should be removed. This is the system that I would propose. You have 7 active duty maps. You have seasons that correspond to the pro scene. So whenever there's a major tournament, you kind of have a end of season event. In a new season, you rotate 2 maps into the pool and 2 maps out of the pool, so you're constantly changing the pool. In matchmaking, here's how the veto system should work. You can veto 2 maps. The 5 remaining maps, you gotta play one of them. It's gonna pick randomly between them. That way, if there's some maps you just really don't like, or Valve makes a mistake and adds some garbage maps, you can just veto it. As the video goes on, this microphone has slowly just been like lowering, and I've been fighting with it and trying to push it, and I'm giving up. It's just gonna be here now. One big problem with Counter-Strike is that there's too many game modes. It increases the queue times by a lot. You've got like 100 different ways to play the game. These are the ones that you have to have. I wrote a little list. You need competitive. There should just be one competitive game mode as I described it. Then you have unranked, and you can play whatever map you want in unranked. It's just regular Counter-Strike, but without the ranking system factoring into if you win or lose. It should factor in your rank in order to match you up still. Then, unranked short. I really like the short matches, I just don't think it should factor into your rank. Deathmatch, retakes, and then a final one, which I think they should add, and I've talked about this before, called mutation mode, which is from Left 4 Dead 2. It should be like a fun custom game mode, like the one in the chamber, or Scout's Knives, or essentially what my videos have been in the past 2 years, and then you rotate what that fun custom game mode is every 2 weeks. Maybe give some rewards or something like that if you performed particularly well in those game modes. Then you're like constantly like mixing up the formula of Counter-Strike, maybe use some community-inspired ideas. I think it would be great. That way you don't have like all of these crazy game modes at the same time, and nobody playing any of them. Oh, I forgot, you gotta keep Wingman. I actually really like Wingman, you gotta keep that one too. For skins, I have this button on my keyboard. It's right here, it says delete. I would just hit that button. I would just delete all of them. But we all know that is never going to happen. It's just too profitable, right? Because of skin trading, Counter-Strike is essentially like the proto-NFT game. It's really disgusting. There's better ways to monetize your game. Valorant has done it. You can't be like, what's the only way you can make money? Well, about Valorant, they sell skins. They have skins that you can put on the gun. They're actually better quality skins. They have like custom animations and stuff. And hey, you don't have trading, you don't have Gamba, you don't have any of that stuff. It's a really nice way that they did it. I have a script here. This isn't in the script. I didn't write this. My script says, Beyond the mechanics of the game, the biggest strength Counter-Strike has is the community. Community maps, mods, assets, all that stuff. This is something I wouldn't change. Maybe with Source 2, you can make it easier for modders to make cool stuff, instead of progressively harder and harder. The fact that Valve isn't supporting the classic offensive project is an embarrassment. I wrote that because I think that. If you want Counter-Strike to beat Valorant, you have to unleash the community. Valorant will never have that. It's your ace in the hole. Source 2, oh my gosh, that's all anybody's clickbaiting with right now. It might surprise you to hear this, but I haven't actually made a video talking about Source 2 yet. I don't think, except maybe some jokes I made here or there. And it's because when I did my research, when I talked to people who know what they're talking about, when I actually looked into it myself, I don't know if it's a good idea to update to Source 2 or not. On a technical side, I legitimately don't know if it would benefit, if we wouldn't notice anything at all, if it would make it harder or easier for people to make custom content, if the current custom content that we have would all just cease to exist. I legitimately have no idea on that front, so I haven't talked about it. But on the marketing side of things, this is something that I understand. I think from the marketing side, it would be a fantastic idea, because you would breathe some life into this game, into this husk. You would re-energize it in the mind of the public. People would see it again. People would talk about it again. Right now, because of the competition that Counter-Strike finally has with Valorant, which after 2 years, Valorant's still here. It's still growing. It's still doing good. People are playing it. In North America, I'd say most people left Counter-Strike to go play Valorant. Because of that, Counter-Strike really needs to do something big right now. It can't just be these little updates like, oh, we fixed the matchmaking system, we did. They need something like, wubba wubba wah wah wah. I think the strong competition from Riot is only a good thing, because that means that Valve has to put more time and energy into Counter-Strike in order to compete, is what I said 2 years ago. We have not seen that. It's been 2 years. When I think about that, I think about TF2. And Overwatch. It's like, well, Valve, they're gonna put more time into Overwatch now. They're gonna make TF3, they're gonna compete, they're gonna be the better game. And then they didn't. They just forgot about it, I guess. Dota 2, they put a ton of time into that. They compete with League of Legends. And it's a good competitor to League of Legends. I don't really like that genre personally, but I've heard people like both games very well. The reason why so many Counter-Strike gamers, you and me, people that we know, have this vitriolic reaction to Valorant whenever it's mentioned, I've said it a lot in this video, whenever it comes up, it's like, ugh, Valorant, Valorant, a child game, I hate it, goofy cartoon anime graphics and stuff. I think it's because we have put in, at least I have, 10,000 hours into Counter-Strike, and some people have hundreds of thousands of dollars in skins, or thousands of dollars in skins. So they feel like they have an investment in the game. And if the game dies, if it's gone, if it's overshadowed by a competitor, then that's all gone, right? I don't know, the state of Counter-Strike in 2022. It actually is looking good. I mean, a lot of people are playing. There are updates that fix the game, but I really think that they need to do something big. Thank you folks very much for watching. I am TheWarOwl, and I still have no closer.